Welcome to Biopilates Deep Dive, and today I invite you to a moment of lateral focus, a dive into an exercise I particularly love, the side kick and the full side series, exercises that appear simple, but as often in Pilates, what looks simple is actually a chance for finesse, precision, discipline, and self-discovery. So I settle in, lying on my side. My pelvis and spine are in a neutral position, alive but stable. My legs are extended, slightly flexed forward from the hips, a small diagonal toward safety, toward balance. My ankles are in dorsiflexion. My bottom arm is extended, palm on the mat. It supports my head but doesn't press it. My cervical spine is aligned. My top hand rests in front of my chest on the mat. An anchor, a compass. My shoulder blades are connected, stabilized. Nothing is heavy, everything floats. And I wait. I feel my center. I feel my grounding, and I begin. The first variation, the front and back kick. We inhale for 2 counts. I keep my pelvis neutral, my core alive and stable. I flex the top hip, extend the leg far forward. On the second count of the inhale, I reach even further. Without compromising alignment, we exhale. I stabilize, and this time I bring my leg into hip extension, reaching backward. My toes softly point. The ankle moves into plantar flexion. The hip opens. The leg moves away from my head, but my spine doesn't move. I am a beam of light stretched between 2 points, and I repeat 8 to 10 times each side with the same intensity, the same awareness, the same precision. What I seek here is a core that doesn't yield, a pelvis that stays grounded, a leg that explores space without ever disrupting the structure. And above all, I keep in mind that neutral spine is a fundamental pillar of the entire sequence. It's what allows me to articulate the movement without enduring it. That's why engaging my abdominals, my multifidi, and my short and long rotators is essential. They help preserve this neutrality throughout the effort. Pelvic stability in neutral is also one of the greatest challenges of the side kick. To achieve this, I must lengthen my top leg as much as possible, creating real space between the ischium and the calcaneus. That invisible thread, that conscious extension, it grounds me and lifts me. I feel my transversus abdominis maintaining the integrity of my lumbopelvic region. I feel my deep pelvic floor, a discrete but vital foundation. I feel my obliques, my multifidus, my spinal erectors. They protect spinal neutrality. They root me, but don't lock me down. My hip works hard. First in flexion, my hip flexors activate concentrically. Then in extension, the extensors take over. I keep my leg at a constant height. My abductors watch over it. And of course, my scapulae remain stable, calm, present. And I do all this without excessive tension in the upper traps, without arching my lower back, without tilting my pelvis. A detour through the nervous system to understand its connection to movement. What makes this exercise so rich, so precise, is also the fundamental role of the nervous system. When I flex the hip, when I stabilize my spine, when I extend my leg, none of it is purely muscular. It's my whole nervous system that orchestrates it all. So what are we really talking about? The nervous system is divided into 2 main parts, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is the command center. It includes the brain and the spinal cord. That's where information is integrated, where motor decisions are made, where movement patterns are built. When I decide to reach my leg forward, it's my brain sending the command. When I adjust my alignment because I feel imbalance, it's my brain helped by the spinal cord that regulates. The peripheral nervous system works like a vast cable network. It transports messages from the central nervous system to the muscles, organs, and skin, and vice versa. It includes sensory nerves afferent and motor nerves efferent. When I feel the mat under my leg, that's sensory. When I contract my abs to stabilize, that's motor. This constant dialogue between sensation and action, between centering and movement, that's what creates the magic of the side kick. And this dialogue doesn't happen on the surface. It flows through proprioception, the ability to perceive my body's position in space. Without proprioception, I couldn't control my legs' range, keep my trunk stable, or feel my scapulae grounded. When I practice Pilates with awareness, I strengthen not just my muscles, but my entire nervous system. I myelinate my circuits, improve speed, precision, coordination. I etch those patterns deep into my nervous memory. The central nervous system decides. The peripheral nervous system delivers. And I inhabit this intelligent, adaptive, deeply human system. An anatomical pause. Let's look at two lesser known yet essential muscles, the gracilis and the pectineus. Among the adductors activated during side lift, variations 2 through 5. These two deserve special attention. The gracilis, also known as the inner straight muscle, is long, thin, vertical. It originates from the lower part of the pubis and inserts on the medial side of the tibia in the area known as the pes anserinus. It crosses both the hip and the knee and plays multiple roles: hip adduction, knee flexion, and medial rotation of the flexed leg. It subtly contributes when we lift the bottom leg to meet the top or control the descent of both legs together. The pectineus is a small triangular muscle, discrete but powerful. It arises from the upper branch of the pubis and inserts along the pectineal line of the femur, just below the lesser trochanter. It assists in adduction, in hip flexion, and occasionally in slight medial rotation. When stabilizing the legs or lifting them with control, it becomes a hidden but vital point of balance. These two muscles illustrate something Pilates teaches well. It's not the size of the muscle that matters, but its function, its coordination, and how it integrates into a global, intelligent, precise system. The second variation, the bottom leg adduction. I return to my side, neutral pelvis, legs extended. This time, it's the top leg that moves first. Inhale. I lift the top leg in abduction as far as I can go without losing pelvic stability. The leg remains parallel to the floor, my center engaged. Exhale. I lift the bottom leg, bringing it toward the top. Then, I lower both legs together, softly, with precision, keeping the inner thigh connection. This movement seems simple, but it's deeply rich. It engages my transverses, my pelvic floor, my obliques, my multifidi, my spinal erectors. It refines my trunk control and awakens the abductors and adductors of both legs. I feel the quiet power of the gracilis and the subtle guidance of the pectineus, both harmonizing to support the gesture. I follow the rhythm of my breath, the clarity of slow motion, the precision of intention. The third variation, the both legs together. I remain on my side, legs connected, in adduction. Exhale, I lift both legs together, reaching them away from the crown of my head, not with force, but with length, with intention, with stability. Inhale, I lower the legs slowly, without collapsing, maintaining the line. This variation challenges both strength and alignment. The bottom leg supports, the top leg lifts, but both work as one. The adductors connect, the abductors stabilize, the transversus remains vigilant, the spinal erectors hold the integrity of the trunk. Every movement is a negotiation between grounding and elevation. The fourth variation, the lateral flexion with the legs. This time I go further, I add the upper body. Exhale, I lift both legs, and simultaneously I lift my torso in a pure lateral flexion. My top arm reaches toward my feet, but doesn't pull. The movement starts from my center. Inhale, I return slowly to the mat, extending both ends of my body without dropping. This variation demands coordination. It engages the ipsilateral obliques concentrically on the way up and eccentrically on the return. The pelvis remains stable, the spine neutral, the movement strictly lateral, no forward bend, no rotation, no extension. I breathe with control and trust the flow. The fifth variation, the combined lateral lift. I finish with one of the most complete movements of the series, a simultaneous lift of upper and lower body, still in lateral flexion, still on the same side. Exhale, I engage my center. I lift both legs. I lift my torso. I reach into a long diagonal line. My spine stays neutral. My pelvis centered. My legs parallel. Inhale, I lower with control, following the curve without collapsing. This movement is intense but elegant. It mobilizes the whole body. Abductors, adductors, obliques, scapula stabilizes, deep trunk muscles. The gracilis and pectineus play a discrete role here, aligning the thigh, supporting the pelvis. I stay within my functional range. I honor alignment over amplitude. I breathe and I connect. As a conclusion, the side kick and the lateral lifting series are more than leg exercises. They are rituals of balance, invitations to explore stability and motion, tests of alignment, refinements of soft power, and precise control. They're also neurological explorations, ways to retrain the pathways between brain, spinal cord, nerves, and muscles, to make room in your circuits, to refine your perception, and elevate your coordination. Next time you practice a side kick and lateral series, remember, you're not just moving a leg, you're activating a whole system. You're engaging everything you are. See you soon in the next episode of Biopilates Deep Dive.